Walk into a Mini service center and you'll see owners staring at repair quotes they never expected. Some of Mini's most desirable features can also become some of its most expensive problems. Today, we're exposing the features most likely to hit your wallet hardest. Number 9. The panoramic sunroof. Starting the list is the feature Mini customers request most often when specifying a new car, and the feature that generates more angry forum posts than almost any other component on the vehicle. The panoramic sunroof, option code S402 on modern F55 and F56 Minis, was designed to bring more light into a small cabin and give owners the open-air experience without buying the convertible. What actually happens is that the sunroof becomes one of the most expensive premium features in the entire Mini lineup to keep running. Here is what goes wrong. First, the drainage system. The panoramic sunroof isn't watertight by design. 4 small tubes at each corner of the sunroof cassette channel water down the A-pillars and C-pillars to drain safely out of the car. When those tubes get blocked by leaves, road grime, or general debris, water backs up into your interior and starts flooding the passenger footwell. Mini dealers charge around £1,000 to diagnose and clear the blockages, quoting extensive labor to remove the headliner and access the tubes. The actual DIY fix takes 15 minutes with a small piece of wire and requires no interior disassembly whatsoever. Owners on Mini 2 and North American motoring forums have documented the exact procedure repeatedly, but Mini service centers continue to quote £1,000 repairs to owners who don't know any better. Second, the sunroof mechanism itself. The cassette that houses the motor, cables, and glass panel is prone to failure, particularly on higher mileage examples. Cable snap, motor burnout, and jammed glass are all documented failure modes. When any of them happen, the repair typically requires a full cassette replacement running around £1,000, parts and labor, and that assumes you find a specialist willing to do it. Main dealers frequently quote significantly higher figures. Some Mini owners have simply given up, pulled the fuse for the sunroof motor, and lived with a permanently closed panoramic roof rather than pay for repair. If you're specifying a new Mini or considering a used one, seriously ask yourself whether the sunroof is worth the ownership risk. Number 8. Run flat tires. This feature was so bad that Mini has publicly announced they're killing it. In a statement covered by Motoring File, Mini confirmed that after 20 years of specifying run flat tires as standard equipment on most models, the 4th generation Minis launching from 2024 onwards will no longer come with run flats fitted from the factory. Instead, you'll get a tire mobility kit with a compressor and sealant, and run flats will only be available as an option on specific fitments, and typically at additional cost. Why did Mini kill this premium feature? Because it was always a bad idea. Run flat tires cost 20 to 30% more than conventional tires in the same fitment. They typically last around half the mileage of a normal tire. So where a conventional tire might reach 32,000 miles, a run flat is often worn out by 18,000 miles. They cannot be repaired after a puncture, so any road hazard means replacement rather than a simple £20 plug repair. They add significant unsprung weight, which hurts handling and fuel economy. And critically for the daily ownership experience, they deliver a harsher ride than any conventional tire, particularly on the smaller Mini variants where every road imperfection gets transmitted directly to your spine. The maths on run flat ownership is genuinely brutal. A Cooper S owner running Michelin Pilot Sport 4 run flats at 18,000 miles per set will replace them at around £800 to £1,000 fitted. Conventional Michelin equivalents at 32,000 miles per set cost around £600 to £700 fitted. Over 100,000 miles of ownership, the run flat premium costs owners approximately £1,500 in additional tyre spend. All for the questionable benefit of driving 50 miles at 50 miles per hour after a puncture, which most owners will use exactly once in their entire ownership period. This is why Mini killed the feature. It was never actually premium. Number 7. Adaptive LED headlights. The adaptive LED headlight system is one of the most impressive sounding features in the current Mini lineup. Cornering lights that illuminate the direction you're steering. Motorway mode that raises the beam pattern. high beam assist that automatically dips your lights when it detects oncoming vehicles. All of it controlled by a sophisticated headlight control module talking to the car's steering, throttle, and camera sensors. The problem arrives when any of those individual components fail. The headlight control module itself is a proprietary mini part that fails without warning, and replacement costs run between £600 and £1,200, depending on the specific unit and the labor required to access it. When the module goes, the entire adaptive functionality dies, and typically you also lose your standard headlight function until the module is replaced. On a Mini used as daily transport, that's a genuine roadside safety issue, not just a minor inconvenience. The individual LED units are worse. A single failed LED headlight assembly on a modern Mini can cost £1,200 to £1,800 for the OEM replacement unit alone, before labor. And here's the twist that catches owners out. Once the new unit is fitted, it requires coding to the specific vehicle through BMW Group diagnostic tools. That coding step costs another £50 to £100 at any Mini specialist. Skip the coding, and the new headlight either doesn't work at all or works incorrectly with adaptive features disabled. Try to buy an aftermarket replacement and you'll find genuine third-party alternatives essentially don't exist because of the proprietary coding requirement. Mini has effectively locked in the OEM replacement price at whatever they want to charge. Number 6. The automatic start-stop system. Every current Mini comes with automatic start-stop as standard equipment, marketed as an efficiency feature that reduces emissions during traffic idling. What Mini doesn't mention is what this feature does to the starter motor. A conventional starter motor is designed for a few starts per drive cycle. A Mini start-stop starter has to handle dozens of restarts during a single commute through city traffic. To cope with this, Mini fits a specific high-cycle starter motor designed for the punishment. But even that reinforced starter typically wears out significantly faster than a conventional unit. The replacement cost for a Mini start-stop starter runs between £400 and £600 depending on model. And the labor is not cheap because access on some engine configurations requires substantial disassembly. The related problem is the AGM battery. Automatic start-stop demands an AGM battery capable of the high current cycling that constant restarts require. AGM batteries cost roughly double the conventional lead-acid alternative, typically around £140 to £180 for a genuine Mini AGM, and they require registration to the vehicle's intelligent battery sensor when replaced. Skip the registration, we've covered this in other videos, and the new battery will fail prematurely because the DME's charging strategy will be wrong. The kicker is that most owners disable the start-stop feature within the first month of ownership because the aggressive restarts are genuinely annoying in traffic, meaning you're paying for a starter that costs more, wears faster, requires a more expensive battery, and delivers no benefit because you switched off the feature that justified all the extra hardware. Mini engineers built a premium efficiency system that owners actively refuse to use. If you want to know why your Mini's electrical system feels over-engineered, for what should be a simple hatchback, this is why. Quick break, if you want to unlock everything your Mini is capable of, check out my Mini ebook. It's packed with maintenance tips, hidden features, troubleshooting guides, money-saving advice that every owner should know. The link is in the description. Number 5. The Mini Connected Subscription Ladder. This one deserves its own special place because it's the modern automotive equivalent of nickel and diming customers to death. Every Mini equipped with Mini Operating System 9 comes with a 3-month trial of Mini Connected Plus, which unlocks features like advanced personalization, in-vehicle apps, air console gaming, video streaming when parked, and the Spike animated personal assistant. After that trial, all of those features move behind a paywall. Here is what makes this fundamentally trash tier as a premium feature. The hardware is physically installed in every Mini regardless of subscription status. The antenna is there, the modem is there, the processor to run the animations is there. You paid for all of it when you bought the car. The subscription tax exists purely because Mini figured out that owners will keep paying rather than lose features they've grown accustomed to. In the UK, Mini Connected Plus runs approximately £99 per year, auto-renewing until you cancel through the vehicle dashboard, the Mini app, or by calling customer service. On selected 2025 and newer Minis, remote engine start via the Mini app is a separately purchasable option through the in-car Mini connected store, meaning that if you want to warm up the cabin before winter mornings using your phone, that's another subscription your dealer didn't mention during the walkaround. Multiply the subscriptions across an 8 or 10-year ownership period and you're looking at £800 to £1,200 in additional connected services fees, all for hardware that was already fitted and paid for. And when Mini eventually stops supporting the connected services for your specific model year, which will happen because that's how connected car ecosystems age, all of those subscriptions become useless, and the hardware becomes electronic dead weight in your dashboard. If you're finding this useful, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next Mini video. Now let's get into the 4 features that genuinely make Mini ownership expensive. Number 4. The OS 9 Circular OLED Display. This one hurts because the OLED display is genuinely one of the most visually distinctive features on any modern Mini. The 9.4-inch circular OLED screen dominates the dashboard and delivers a driving experience that feels genuinely futuristic when it works. The problem arrives when it stops working. Everything about the OLED display is proprietary. The panel itself is a Mini-specific custom design, not shared with any other BMW Group vehicle, meaning replacement units are expensive and often on backorder. The software running on the display is Mini Operating System 9, which is built on Android open-source project foundations, but heavily customized for Mini. Any hardware failure requires a genuine Mini replacement unit sourced through BMW Group parts channels. Aftermarket alternatives essentially do not exist. When the OLED display fails outright, replacement costs run between £1,500 and £2,500 for the unit alone before labor and coding. When it develops touchscreen response issues that a software reset can't clear, the diagnosis alone can eat several £100s of dealer time before you even authorize any repair work. When individual sections of the display develop dead pixels or screen burn, which is a known long-term risk with OLED technology, the only fix is full unit replacement because Mini doesn't offer panel-level repair services. For a feature that Mini genuinely marketed as premium and central to the brand's new digital identity, the ownership implications are meaningful. Any Mini bought used from 2024 onwards effectively carries a £2,000 depreciation risk hanging on the OLED display alone. Because if it fails outside warranty, that's what the replacement costs. Number 3. The Lifetime Automatic Transmission Fluid. The Mini official service schedule will tell you the automatic transmission fluid is lifetime rated. Mini dealers will confirm that the fluid never needs changing. The dashboard condition-based service system will never remind you to service the transmission. All of that is technically accurate marketing language. It's also functionally a lie. The truth is that Mini automatic transmissions, including the Aisin AWF 21 6-speed, the Getrag 7-speed dual clutch, and the newer ZF units, all suffer from progressive fluid degradation. As the fluid ages, additive packages break down, friction modifiers lose their calibration, and the transmission starts exhibiting harsh shifts, hunting between gears, torque converter shudder on Aisin units, and eventually mechatronic failures on the dual clutch systems. The industry standard practice for extending Mini automatic transmission life is a drain and fill every 40,000 miles using proper BMW specification fluid. It's the interval every Mini specialist recommends, the interval every high-mileage owner follows, and the interval that keeps transmissions running smoothly to 200,000 miles or beyond. Skip it. Follow Mini's lifetime marketing, and you get to pay the real cost. Mechatronic unit replacement on a dual-clutch Mini runs between £2,000 and £3,500 parts and labour. Complete gearbox replacement climbs past £4,000. Fluid service that would have prevented the failure costs approximately £180 when done properly. The maths speaks for itself. The lifetime language exists purely to help Mini's brochures compare favourably against competitors on total cost of ownership tables. It has nothing to do with actually protecting your transmission, and Mini engineers know this. Ask any Mini specialist what interval they change transmission fluid on their own personal Cooper, and you'll hear 40,000 miles every single time. Number 2. The first generation Cooper SE battery. If you own or are considering a first-generation Cooper SE electric Mini from the 2020 to 2023 model years, this section demands your full attention. The battery pack is the single most expensive component to replace on any Mini currently on sale. And depreciation on these early electric Coopers means replacement costs can now genuinely exceed the value of the entire car. The first-generation Cooper SE uses a 32.6 kilowatt-hour battery pack that Mini rates for an 8-year warranty on capacity retention above 70%. When that warranty expires, or when individual battery modules fail outside warranty coverage, the replacement costs are eye-watering. Full battery pack replacement is quoted at £6,000 to £8,000 parts and labour depending on the year and specific battery version. Partial module replacements, which are technically possible on some units, still run £2,000 to £4,000 for individual bad modules. Compare that to what a used first-generation Cooper SE is actually worth in 2026. Depreciation on these early electric Coopers has been genuinely brutal because the 2026 second-generation Cooper SE delivered a 250-mile range that more than doubled what the first generation offered. Used prices on 2020 Cooper SE examples have collapsed to around £14,000 to £18,000, meaning a battery replacement quote can genuinely be 40 to 50% of the entire vehicle value. That's the kind of maths that forces owners to scrap otherwise perfectly functional cars because the single most expensive component has become uneconomic to repair. There's also a 2022 recall on Cooper SE models specifically for a water leak that could allow moisture into the high-voltage battery, creating fire risk. Only 128 cars were affected by that specific recall, but it points to broader concerns about early electric Mini reliability that a used buyer inherits without any easy way to assess ongoing risk. Number 1. The electronic parking brake module. Taking the worst spot on this list is a feature so quietly problematic that most Mini owners don't even know it exists as a separate module. The electronic parking brake system replaces the traditional handbrake lever with a small electric button on the center console, activating small motors mounted at each rear caliper that clamp the brake pads against the discs when parked. It sounds trivial. In failure, it's genuinely terrible. The electronic parking brake control module is a small proprietary Mini unit that communicates with the rear caliper motors, the ABS system, the vehicle stability control, and the transmission. When it fails, and it does fail, typically between 60,000 and 100,000 miles, several catastrophic things happen simultaneously. The rear brakes can either release completely and refuse to engage, meaning your Mini won't hold on any gradient, or the rear brakes can lock in the parked position and refuse to release, meaning your Mini is now permanently immobile in whatever position it stopped. Neither scenario is drivable. Replacement cost for the EPB module and associated rear caliper motors runs between £800 and £1,400 parts and labour when everything can be sourced and coded properly. When one of the caliper motors alone fails and needs replacement, that's still typically £400 to £600 for the single unit fitted. Coding is required for any of these repairs, which limits your options to Mini specialists with proper BMW Group diagnostic tools. The whole system exists purely because Mini engineers wanted to save center console space that a traditional handbrake lever would have occupied. Compare that to a genuine mechanical handbrake. Costs approximately £5 to service. Fails predictably by developing slack that a cable adjustment fixes in 10 minutes. Never leaves you stranded, never requires coding, never becomes uneconomic to repair. The electronic parking brake is genuinely the perfect example of premium engineering that solved a problem nobody had while creating a problem that all Mini owners will eventually pay to fix. That's the honest picture of Mini's premium features. Some of these you can avoid by specifying carefully when buying new. Others are standard fitment and simply the price of Mini ownership in 2026. All of them are worth understanding before you sign paperwork for a new or used Mini and discover the true ownership cost the hard way. Drop a comment below with the Mini feature that has cost you the most money, and if you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss hidden tips, hidden features, and money-saving advice. And if you want the complete guide to get most of your Mini, check out my ebook linked in the description. Click the video on your screen now to keep watching, and I will see you in the next one.